It was a rundown, seedy river gambling town, is exactly what it was, with every conceivable type of criminal activity going on.
Illegal gambling, described as benefiting the people, and the corrupt practices that come along with it, are not new to Alabama. A couple of generations ago, they thrived in Phoenix City, where former Alabama Governor John Patterson grew up. That corruption caused the U.S. Secretary of War to declare Phoenix City the wickedest city in America. I'm Amy Beth Shaver for API New Media, and this is what you need to know.
I noticed signs of gambling coming back to Alabama, and it's reminiscent of the early days in Phoenix City when they came in and took control of Phoenix City and Russell County.
History is repeating itself in Alabama. Illegal gambling has come back. No one knows better how gambling can infiltrate state and local government, corrupt city, county, and state officials, and take control like the people of Alabama who saw it in the 50s.
The city fathers decided to invite gamblers in and get the revenue off of gambling to keep from raising people's taxes and to keep from defaulting on the bonded debt of the city. The major thing in Phoenix City was slot machines and prostitution. There was about 12 big gambling casinos in Phoenix City. There were 2 lottery operations over there. All of this was illegal. The mob operation and the gambling operations and prostitutions rings preyed upon the soldiers from Fort Benning.
Looking back at the Phoenix City of the 40s and 50s, it's hard to comprehend how the illegal gambling cartel took control of a town and county and exerted influence all the way to the Alabama Attorney General.
When the illegal gambling operations first come in, they can't operate without corrupting the local officials. In addition to that, they also have to have protection from Montgomery. Otherwise, they would run afoul of the law. Eventually, they will move into control of the city and county government themselves. They'll run their own people for office. They send their own people to the legislature in Montgomery, and they take control of the entire apparatus.
Today, Alabama faces a situation similar to that of Phoenix City in the 50s. Gambling operations have moved into Alabama and open electronic bingo casinos under the guise of charities and promoting them as economic development, promising thousands of jobs. But they really are big-time gambling operations crammed with electronic gambling machines that Governor Bob Riley's task force to stop illegal gambling says are slot machines.
I mean, you build a machine that in essence is a slot machine, nothing more, nothing less, and put the word bingo across the top of it. It doesn't make it a bingo game, it's still a slot machine.
Governor Riley's efforts have been reinforced by the judicial system. 2 circuit courts have declared the machines illegal, and the Alabama State Supreme Court has ruled that the slot machines are illegal based on the established 6-point definition of legal bingo.
The laws are understandable, and I think they ought to be enforced.
The state Supreme Court used the 6-point definition of legal bingo in their ruling against the City of Asheville's bingo ordinance. Using that 6-point test as the legal standard, it now appears that the state of Alabama is on the verge of shutting down gambling operators that one gambling executive has called wannabe gangsters.
They're not interested in just a little bit of the action. They want it all. And when they get their foot in the door and gain political control, then they'll get it all. And it will not benefit the people.
Gambling came into Phoenix City because political leaders bought into the same promises that are being made by gambling interests today. Money for charities, economic development, jobs, and revenue for state and local governments.
Well, they'll contribute money to churches and money for civic clubs and little leagues and things like that to try to gain favor with the public, to get them to support their illegal activities.
But just like the promises are the same, the costs are the same too. Increases in crime, bankrupted families, and broken homes, skyrocketing social cost, and political corruption.
In the end, they take the money, and most of the money goes out of state, and the people get little benefit out of it.
Bringing an end to the gambling-induced murder, vice, and public corruption in Phoenix City came at a very high price. Businesses were burned, the home of a gambling opponent was dynamited, and ultimately John Patterson's father was murdered shortly after winning the state attorney general's office on a platform promising to clean up Phoenix City. It took the brazen murder of Albert Patterson to shock former Alabama Governor Gordon Persons into declaring martial law and calling in the National Guard.
It took everything to clean it up, and it didn't die easy, and it was a tough fight. And it's certainly not encouraging to see it come back. It's not encouraging.